equal money and free energy, there is this drive around the world for free energy, and the whole issue about global warming and abuse of the forests, and looking for alternative energy ways and means. You have to understand that energy itself is the driving force of consumerism. It is the driving force of free will. It is the driving force of competition. It's the driving force, in essence, of ego. And therefore it consumes and will continue to build on consumption, because the competition between people in terms of their pursuit of happiness, because remember, pursuit of happiness is to win, therefore pursuit of happiness equals competition. For the competition between people will rise extensively. At this stage you'll find it, for instance, on the internet, that the desire to be famous is paramount in everybody's mind, as they are driving their ego to excellence, as they call it, to become visible and seen as something extraordinary, missing obviously the whole physical reality, everything focused only on the fame and the lights and feelings of the ego, which you can equate virtually to a form of Hollywood, of sport, music, fame type of scenario. And then obviously you have people that would utilize intellect as a way to become famous. There is so many different ways. At the end of the day, though, all of this is powered through the use of energy. And this energy comes from sources that must be connected in relationships to produce the next interesting fad or desire or need or possession or great accomplishment that makes somebody a millionaire or billionaire, and have this great story about how the American dream, which is like everywhere in the world now, is coming through. Obviously within an equal money system all of this will stop, because the pursuit of happiness will no longer be measured through you becoming rich from your latest invention, or the fact that you've suddenly got the next phase of fame. There is multiple things that play a role within the context of how this consumption operates, and the destiny we are putting the whole thing apart, and the destiny I process will give one the tools to not fall within the bounds of this type of possession that has devastated the earth and the human potential so extensively. So, what will happen within the context of energy and energy saving is that an equal money system will reduce energy usage around the world by as much as 80%, because much of what is used is purely used simply to build products for consumption, and it's got nothing to do with enhancing the human experience to truly achieve excellence within and without, as one create the inner and the outer as heaven here on earth. So massive change will be necessary. Obviously the human currently is driving through the fear of survival, and the pursuit of happiness in essence is simply a way of handling the fear of survival. So pursuit of happiness in essence is motivated by fear, and therefore all of these points will be recognized and understood within the next 10 years, as the revolutions will sweep the earth and no one will reach their level of happiness they are searching for. You'll see it as it is repeating itself in the countries where they're attempting to come up with political solutions, but they're actually repeating the same mistakes again, and people are simply not falling for it anymore, and it'll get worse all around the world. There will be revolution, but what we say is revolution is not really the answer. Yes, it is necessary to bring about the realization that the current system can never work. That in itself is the actual revolution taking place. And within that context, one will then start seeing that much of the energy used in the world is unnecessary, is purely because of the multiple types of products that's being produced, that is in itself caused a problem with products never being trustworthy. In an equal system, the products we will produce will be that which is fit for a millionaire, that which is fit for the best, and therefore one will, in essence, always have the tools, physical tools, machines, that is the best, that last, and you can trust them. And they will be made in ways that is worthy of one's life, and that is worthy of the physical. And within that context, the abuse and the secret planning and of marketing and of finding niche markets and controlling markets and finding ways to sell things to people, which is all actually absolute deliberate deception, deliberate misrepresentation, deliberate fraud. In fact, if one really go and do the research on it, and those that participate in it, they know. I mean, there's no way you can justify what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You have to actually change your psyche to become subject to this fraud. It's like a form of acceptance of your limitation, of the messed upness of this reality. And religion plays such a beautiful role in it, because it supports the whole idea that you're born in sin. Therefore, because you're born in sin, you're allowed to deceive. You have no choice but to deceive, because you're sinful, you're bad. The whole religious thing play right into their hands of the abuse of energy on the planet, the abuse of the planet, the abuse of other human beings. The religion, in essence, is the foundation of consumerism from that perspective. It's the foundation of competition. It's the foundation of deception. It's the foundation of possession. It's the foundation of poverty. It's the foundation of wealth. It's the foundation of the total system. And therefore, in the future, religion and politics and the way we live will be one thing. There will be oneness in every way and equality in every way. It is suggested that one realize that the pursuit of an alternative energy source, wind, whatever it is in essence not the answer. The answer and the greatest revolution that will have, or will be a green revolution in this world, will be an equal system, an equal money system. That will solve the global problem with global warming, with energy abuse, with the amounts of plastic and stuff that is dumped in the oceans, the amounts of affluence that is affecting nature. Everything will reduce. And what we need to produce sufficient, effective goods for living in this world will be far less than what is used now. It is extensive, the change that will happen. It is not realized to what extent things are duplicated in different veneers, in different pictures, in different ways, simply to try and catch the attention of the consumer. The consumer and those that present things to the consumer, that game is like ultimate. It's like a form of absolute brainwashing that nobody can notice, that simply having consumerism and having choice is in fact the reason why the world is in trouble. And if you can't see that, then you have not yet realized to what extent you are brainwashed, to what extent your total environmental, educational, religious upbringing has taken complete control over you, and you have in fact no free choice. Because if you had free choice, I'm quite sure you would have liked to make the good choice, the great choice, the benevolent choice, the choice that is best for all. Because that is the purpose of free choice, isn't it? To direct your choice in a way that you can be truly proud that you've understood, and that you have done what is best for all life, that you can stand before life eternally and be proud of who you are. Isn't that the pride we're all looking for? Why are you not hearing the obvious, simplistic solution? That is the question you should ask yourself. Because that confirms one thing, that you are in fact pre-programmed, as we have indicated in our research, and that you are in fact never free to make a choice. And that should concern you more than anything else ever, because you have then no clue, no understanding of what the consequence could be, or what the intention was of those that pre-programmed you. To claim that God knows everything, and God being the programmer of who you are, while the world is in the way it is, that means God programmed it this way, and you have no choice, no way to stop it according to your belief and your faith. I should worry about that extensively, because that would mean that God in fact is evil. And you wouldn't like that to be so, isn't it? Unless you are the image and likeness of God, and you are the evil, in fact, because you allow yourself to be programmed, and you program each other, and you create the systems in this world. You are, in fact, the God that created this world the way it is now, and maybe it's time you stop and realize that you can do it differently. So, is religion, as it has stood in the past, really of any consequence in terms of what the future holds? You can see for certainly not, because you never see God interfere in this reality. You are, in fact, the one responsible. You are, in fact, the one with the ability to make another choice. Therefore, you are, in fact, free to choose that which is best for all. Free to choose a system which will reduce the abuse of energy, resource, in this reality by 80% or more, which is equal money. And you can sit and work it out mathematically, by simply going into any store and starting to have a look at every product that is there, and what is the resource necessary for producing it, and what will be the best one, and just reduce the store, like Walmart or wherever, to having just the products that is necessary for life in its best form, only one of them, and you would reduce Walmart by 80% immediately. All the factories that has been producing all of these things, using electricity, resource and so on, will disappear. Using water will disappear. And because everybody's got an equal money thing, people don't have to do that work. You can work differently. You can work at the excellence of the human race, at finding ways to truly support the animal and plant kingdom, to make truly a Garden of Eden. That is what you can do. That is why you're here. That was your original custodianship that you gave up when you ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and you forgot about the tree of life. Then you could be the fruit of the tree of life. And the tree of life is an equal money system. It's an equal life system. It is to give what you would like to receive. It is to love thy neighbor as thyself. It is to love all living things as yourself, equal and one here.